If I could only choose 5 shaving soap artisans, who would they be? Coming up. Hello everyone, welcome to the Take Care Man channel. My name is Todd. I've been tagged by Chris over at IMCDB to list my 5 shaving software artisans, so shaving soap, aftershaves, shaving related software products as opposed to hardware, in 5 categories. So if I only choose 5 using these 5 categories, which 5 would I choose? Meaning these are 5 artisans I would have to use for the rest of my life. And I can select one in each of these categories. And the categories I'm going to do, this is the order I'm going to do them in, or these are the categories that Chris gave us, but this is the order I'm going to do them in. I'm going to do selection first, then value, then performance, then scent, and then sentiment. So it's selection, value, performance, scent, and sentiment. Let's start with number 1, selection. For selection, I would have to go with PAA, Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. The scent variety, and by the way, these first 2 in particular, Phoenix and the one coming up next, could hit all of these categories for me. The selection, in my opinion, the value, the performance, the scent, the sentiment is all there for me for both of these in the first 2 I'll list. But the different scents that they have at Phoenix is amazing. You have everything from, you know, the sort of classic scents that Doug has kind of brought a new twist on and kept alive, and also classic scents that he's tried to replicate, up to very modern scents, up to what I would call like a novelty scents like a lot of the holiday ones, some of them that are gourmands. You know, I mean, who else is going to bring you a space nog, right? Like an eggnog scented aftershave. So I just love the scent variety. I know there's a category for scents, but also the different software you can get. So if you want to, you know, get the oldest base that is still available, at least I think that's the case, is what's become to know as CK1 or the Crown King formula, the cocoa butter base. But you can also get it in CK6. And for most of the soaps at Phoenix, you can make a choice. You have the selection between the more, I guess, cost-friendly soap versus the higher-end soap. And so you've got all those scents and different choices in the bases. Also, you have a choice between doing aftershave splashes. You can also get aftershave balms that are the star jellies, which are actually sort of a cross between a balm and a splash. In terms of other things, you can get EDPs, you know, get the fragrance. You can get a solid cologne at Phoenix. And I mean, I can't even get started into the hardware because that would even take us further. But also continuing with the software, like I really like the Cube, the pre-shave, but I kind of didn't like how difficult it was to store, in my opinion, and it would kind of get on my hands and mess up the hand I was going to use for holding the razor. And so I really like the tubes, both the regular tube and the ice tube that's mentholated. And then this is getting a little bit outside of shaving, but you know, even their deodorants and like their beard oils and beard balms, in terms of software, and they have tremendous these shampoo like bars. They're circles, and you can get these cases with the stickers to you know, hold them, which is great. And their bar soaps, I mean, the selection just goes on and on at Phoenix. I mean, even this, so one of my favorites from Phoenix is Boomtown Bay Rum. I mean, check out the different labels. So this is the label from the shampoo bar, okay? And then this is the label from the one of the soaps, rather, if I could turn it correctly. And then there is this label for Boomtown Bay Rum that's on the aftershave. And you can choose between 3 different labels for the soap and for the splash. And here's yet another label on the original Star Jelly for Boomtown. So you can actually select among 3 different labels for the soap and the splash. I think that's amazing. Okay, and of course, like I said, performance is great. All those other categories fit too. But for selection, particularly because of the variety of scents and the different products the scents come in, and being able to purchase those 99-cent samples allows you to choose from among that selection at a very low cost entry. So my number 1 is Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. Number 2, this Artisan is for value, and this Artisan as well could go for selection and performance and scent and sentiment as well. But I'm putting them in the value category, and I'm reluctant to do that because often when we say something's a value product, people might assume that it's subpar, and it's not, in my opinion. I love it, and it is really sort of the first Artisan that I fully kind of dove headfirst into their product line, and that is Sterling Soap Company. And they have these tubs of soap that I think they're currently at 13 something, like $13.95, $13.75. And the scents are amazing, and they have a wide selection. But the value of getting, what is it in this? You get, is it 4 ounces of soap in their tubs? 5.8 ounces of soap in their tubs for $13.75 is a great deal. And the splashes now, I think, are like $13.50 or something like that, $13.55, a great deal as well. And what I like, much like the 99-cent samples of the aftershave at Phoenix, you can get these really affordable splash samples and soap samples at Sterling. You can get these, I think, an individual one for $2.50, or get, for $3, or get 4 for $10. For the soap, you can get this for, I think it's up to $3.60 now. Yeah, that's right. I've got some of it written down here. And this, you can get several shaves out of this puck. And you can get several shaves out of this splash. They also have samples in their EDTs. You can get a sample of their EDT for $5. Their EDTs are $25. I mean, that's great value for what you get from their EDTs. They have very, very affordable bar soaps. I love their bar soaps. They have affordable aftershave balms. And one of my favorite products that they have at Sterling, their witch hazel and aloe splashes. I think these are actually underrated in the wet shaving community. I love these products. I particularly like the Texas on Fire from them, but the coniferous is great. All of the citrus ones are great, the vetiver, and all at a super reasonable cost. This is less than $10, as is the balm. The balm's less than $10. The splashes are like 13 something. And pretty much every order from them, they tend to throw in some sort of sample, usually like one of their bar soap samples, thinner size. But one time they threw in like a whole balm into an order. And so the value there is just amazing for what you can get from them. And I'm not even getting into the body lotion and the body butter. And also, during Black Friday time, they come out with these, $8 splashes and soaps in a smaller size. So this is 3 ounces as opposed to the 5.8, and this is 2 ounces as opposed to like the 3.3 ounces or something like that, 100 ml, which I think is about 3.3 ounces. Hey Google, how many ounces are in 100 milliliters?
100 milliliters is equal to 3.381 fluid ounces.
So 3.3. So you can
to
get
convert
these
from milliliters
Thank
to
you.
fluid
Hey,
ounces,
Google.
divide you.
Stop. Thanks. So yeah, the $8 splash and soap, and the 3 ounce and 3 ounce size, and 3 ounces of soap and 3 ounces of splash. Great deal. Okay. So number 1, PAA for selection. Number 2, Sterling for value. Okay, for these next 2 Artisans, I could have actually interchanged these 2. In fact, I had a hard time knowing which one to make as the performance pick and which one to do as the scent pick. But for me, the top performer in my den is Holy Cow, their tallow based soap. This is the version before the Sierra base. I have the Sierra base as well. I forget what this one was called, maybe Bufala. I may be making, that may not be correct. That may be a wholly completely different artisan. But these are two of my favorite scents, King of Oud and Fougere Bouquet. But when I'm using Holy Cow soaps, and the first time I used them and every time I've used them since then, I notice a difference between it and other soaps. Well, a close second would be this next one. But the post-shave feel, the face feel is unbelievable. Plus that you can feel that the soap is doing your skin good, like it's not only giving it cushion and glide, but giving it great nourishment. It just is this luxurious feel that you get on the face, like you're using something, you know, that's next level. And that's what I get with Holy Cow. And I love several of their scents. I think I heard somebody say recently in a Instagram live, like in the chat, that Holy Cow doesn't have any bangers. I disagree. Like these are in my top 5 in terms of scents. Anyway, we're not talking about scent. We're talking about performance. I just love it. You get ingredients in here that you don't get in other soaps. And Holy Cow is all about skincare for men, like nourishing skin. And you can tell it when you use their soaps and splashes. And they also have the balms and the toners. They also make some great deodorant as well. So that is my performance pick. Next up, my scent pick. This is a great performer too. This makes my face feel similar to Holy Cow in terms of like a luxurious experience, feeling like it's nurturing my skin. And that is the combination of primarily Declaration Grooming, but also Chatillon Luxe. Chatillon Luxe. I think that's right. Chatillon Luxe. I think I nailed it that time. The scents that they created, and also the scents that Declaration Grooming creates on their own, or even their dupes that they do. I think that Declaration and Chatillon Luxe are very daring in their scents. They will take some big risk on their scents. Barrister Man probably a close second there in terms of putting out some daring scents. This is Massacre of the Innocents, which is like Parfum de Marly's Herod. Beautiful tobacco scent. But then just some of the classics that they've had. Trismegistus, which is basically a Terre d'Hermès dupe. Beautiful vetiver and orange, like a dirty orange. And then one of my favorite scents, particularly for fall, winter, Dark Fall, beautiful, beautiful scent. Now Unobtainium discontinued Tom Salk. Beautiful, beautiful scent. And then something like Yuzu, Rose, and Patchouli. I just love how unconventional some of their scents are and how dark they're willing to go with their scents, and also unique notes. They've taken some heat for some of the scents that they've put out. But I love taking that risk. I think that's what true artists do. And you can tell that from both Chatillon Luxe and Declaration Grooming. Okay, and for some people, this may be the easiest category, but for me, it was the toughest, and that's the 5th one that I would keep if I could only choose 5. And that category is the sentiment category. Like you have a special connection to it. Well, I really don't have a particular special connection to any of these that are in this category. I kind of feel like I do with Sterling and with PAA, just because Doug and Fran and then Rod and Mandy are so accessible. But I'm sure these artisans are too. I just haven't tried to reach out to them before. But I'm going to give you, if we were talking about non-artisans as well, I'd have to throw Proraso in there. I just think that the value, and I just love those, and I will always have Proraso. I'm a big fan of Proraso White and Proraso Red, and not so much Proraso Green. I don't dislike it. It's just not, I don't like it as much as red and white. But nonetheless, so I'm going to give 2 honorable mentions for the sentiment category. Katie's Bubbles, the LMDR and Water Eucalyptus, 2 of my favorite scents. I have lots of the sample sizes, which are basically half the size of Katie's. I love those scents and would love to keep those, but the other honorable mention would be Chiseled Face. This is one of my favorite scents in wet shaving, Midnight Stag. If you don't know this scent, you need to try to get a sample off somebody or something. It's very dark. It's very masculine. It's unconventional. It's got like gasoline notes and leather notes and gun cleaner notes, and it's amazing. And I love their Sherlock, and I love Cryogen, the most mentholated soap I have. And they've come out with a new silk tallow base, Ghost Town Barbara, another great scent. So that's my second runner up for sentiment. But the one I had to decide on, the one I landed on for sentiment, is this is one of the first soaps I ever bought, full puck I ever bought. Barrister and Man. This is Seville, classic barbershop. I love Vespers. I love what this soap is all about. I also have the, what's it called? And the money went to PBS. Let me grab it here real quick, or at least public television. The Sunny Lane, which is really unique and smells like my childhood, basically. And then things like Fougère Gothique, very unique scent. And what kind of threw this over the top for me to let me select this one as sentiment is I also love the scents Barrister and Man does, and I think that they're daring, and I like that. But one of my favorite things about Barrister and Man is that they, in coordination with Maggards, you can grab their samples very easily of both splashes and their soaps. And particularly, you can grab them even on new releases. The seasonal releases, the new releases, pretty soon after they come out. Sometimes before, you'll see the sample size of splashes and soaps at Maggards. And, you know, I think one of the challenges in wet shaving is there's so many new releases that come out, and not all those artisans have samples, but you can bet that you're going to be able to find samples at Maggards. Even Maggards with the samples like Holy Cow, they're lagging behind several months there in terms of which samples are available. But Barrister and Man, those samples are generally immediately available on Maggards in both the splash or balm, which he's doing more balms now because I think of availability of ingredients during COVID. So yeah, that's my 5. A selection, PAA, value, sterling. And again, both of those two artisans for me cover all 5 of these. Number 3, performance, that would be Holy Cow. Number 4, scent would be Declaration Grooming and Chatillon Luxe. And number 5 for sentiment would be Barrister and Man. I'm filming this late at night, and a day after I had a reaction to my second COVID-19 vaccination injection, and had a fever of 101. It took me about 36 hours to develop the symptoms before I got sick. I thought I'd missed the window, but I worked late tonight and have a chance to do it today. I wanted to get home and get this done. So I'm going to tag 5 people. Now, 2 things. If you've already been tagged, sorry. I hope you'll consider doing it, either whoever tagged you originally or me. But also know that you do not have to do this. Obviously, it's completely up to you. I know everybody's busy, has different things that they're trying to film. But the 5 people I'm going to tag, and I'm doing 5 because there's 5 categories. I'm doing Jeffrey Smith. I'm going to tag Up for a Shave Dave. I'm going to tag Glenn Helly. I'm going to tag John Shaves 101. And I'm going to tag Mark at Friendship Shaving. So that's my 5. If I could only choose 5 in those 5 different categories. Thanks, Chris, for the tag. And as always, take care, man.